I've got Colby Marshall with us to talk about the Simcoe County.
Now, again, going back to just specifically the month of January, people listing their homes that they're listing because they have to, not because they want to. The creative financing in these areas is coming back. We've been getting 100% finance deals with vendor takebacks. We've been getting vacant possession on certain units. The creativity that you read about in all these books that hasn't happened all over COVID because the market was too hot, we're starting to get these deals done. So we're looking at list price usually for these opportunities around 700,000 to 800,000, depending on the size of the home, how much work it needs. And these are the numbers of what we could be targeting if you were to invest in the multifamily conversion in this market in our area.
Welcome back to the Canadian Real Estate Channel. I'm Adam J.D. Martin, your host, and today I've got Colby Marshall with us to talk about the Simcoe County. Colby, what's been going on? It's the new year. We haven't seen you in a little while, so I'd love to hear what you've been up to, what some of the updates are, and what we can look forward to in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm Colby Marshall from the Simcoe County area. We run a real estate team, development team, and build team out in this area. So we have the Colby Marshall Real Estate Team and Marshall's Complete Investment Solutions, which is a turnkey end-to-end investment solution where we do everything from design, acquisition, build, or construction. Whatever you guys are looking for, we can help with all of your needs. Our real estate team is a part of Remax Che here in this area as well. So we are licensed realtors and we can help you with all your real estate needs on top of that. Today, we're going to go over a couple stats, what's been going on in the Simcoe County area, and some live opportunity about what's going on from a high level. And then as well, we will be touching on a couple things of what's going on the mortgage world as well, just to see how we can benefit from that as well. So we service Simcoe County. This is a map of all of Simcoe County here. Our key areas that we like to target for our investors are Barrie, which you can see right around the water here, the gray area, as well as Orillia is another one of our key areas. And then Wasaga Beach over here up on Georgian Bay are the three areas that we'd like to target. We do service the entire area for residential and anything to do with investments. So if you have any questions about these areas and anything you hear today interests you, feel free to reach out, give us a call, email, we'd be more than happy to help. Let's dive in and start with the Barrie stats. So the stats we're going to be going over are for detached homes in the Barrie area. And let's find out what's going on from the end of last year to the beginning of this year. Where are we at? So active number of listings is the first slide. First slide, you can see a diminishing amount of active listings. This has to do with a couple things. First thing's obviously seasonal. We are in Barrie in the snow belt. We have 4 feet of snow outside. It is minus 20 degrees right now. Nobody wants to buy houses in this weather or list their house. So the people that are listing their house are the people that usually have to, not because they want to. So we have very few houses on the market and we are getting some great deals. Some big stats here. You can see it diminishing right into January. And yeah, things are starting to sit pretty good. And I think a lot of it is contingent on weather, but there is some seasonality to this as well. You can see the average home price is starting to increase from the end of last year and beginning of January. So we have less listings increasing in value, which is a good thing to see with these lowering interest rates. Now, again, going back to just specifically the month of January, people listing their homes that they're listing because they have to, not because they want to. So these are people with distressed properties, fear of losing it, or we've also targeted a lot of investors, a lot of investment properties that have been sitting on the market. And the creative financing in these areas is coming back. We've been getting 100% finance deals with vendor takebacks. We've been getting vacant possession on certain units. The creativity that you read about in all these books that hasn't happened all over COVID because the market was too hot. We're starting to get these deals done. We've bought 3 houses in the last 2 months of 100% financing between vendor takebacks, primary financing. We've had vacant possession on multifamily homes where we've boosted values before we even took possession, just being able to rent it out for more than what they were rented out previously. So there's lots of deals on. If you know what you're looking for, you know how to structure it, you can be getting infinite returns with almost no money into some of these deals. We also have our conversions where, vacant homes, distressed properties that need work. We're getting these significantly undervalued. And I don't think this is going to last much longer. Once this cold weather goes away, you can start to see the grass again. Everyone's going to come out of the woodwork with these lower interest rates. And again, I think that this is not going to last forever. So we're trying to buy up as much as we can. We've acquired probably more for our own portfolios in the last 18 months than we have in the last 5 years because the deals just keep coming and coming, and we just keep stacking away. So if you have any interest, Barrie is prime for couple more months of deals while this cold weather is here, but I don't think it'll last very long.
Yeah, it's great to hear that people are, continuing to engage in creative financing and just getting the word out there about vendor take back mortgaging for anybody that's dealing, whether you're trying to get into like a really distressed property or even potentially trying to make the finances work when things are expensive. Like it works kind of both ways. And it's great to hear that you guys are out there doing that.
Yeah, we have some equity lenders out this way, not the best rates. We're
Yeah.
talking 7-8%, but a lot of people getting into the investment space with these interest rates still, they're paying close to that anyways. So if
Yeah.
you get a 30% vendor take back from a client, we're seeing 30-35% VTBs, and we're getting things 100% financed. You're just paying for your closing costs.
Right.
It's something we haven't seen in quite some time, and it's great to be able to negotiate and have these strategies back in our tool belt.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great capital preservation too, right? That 30% that you don't put down on the building is just
Mhm.
going straight into renos and rehab and bringing buildings up to their highest and best use. So I love that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great strategy for sure. And Orillia is our next key market that we like to target. So we will dive in there and see what's going on. Number of active listings detached as well in the Orillia area. You can see again diminishing amount of inventory quite substantially. Again, seasonal, but also I think it is due to values starting to creep up, and people don't want to sell unless they have to. So there's a lot of some desperation and some people just trying to catch the market going the other way now as well. But the diminishing inventory usually starts to put the prices up, and you can definitely see a price increase starting from October. Kind of was the bottom near the end there, and then coming up into January, we're starting to see the average price start to creep up again, which is very interesting to see. The list to sell price in Orillia, you can see here, is pretty substantial. Not as good as the Barrie one. Um, we can see here that people are still getting sales significantly under what they're listed for. So if you see a list price, don't be scared to shoot your shot and see if we can get the pricing 30, 10, 15% under what you're seeing. We've seen some pretty crazy stuff. You got to shoot your shot and see what happens, especially some of the inventory that's been sitting for 90, 100, 120 days. Definitely some opportunities. A lot of the investor type properties, the multifamilies, the duplexes that have been sitting. Definitely a lot of opportunities there if you can structure it right, add some value on the purchase. If that's asking for one vacant unit, so vendor take back, potential financing. There's different ways where you can definitely add value before you even take possession. So knowing how to structure those deals and taking advantage of that is a big strategy for everybody for sure. So here are some live opportunities that are in the Simcoe area. So these are our conversion models that people are buying and converting into 3 or 4 units. So we'll go over some quick numbers of what that looks like and what opportunities could be available to you. So we're looking at list price usually for these opportunities around 700 to 800,000, depending on the size of the home, how much work it needs. And these are the numbers of what we could be targeting if you were to invest in the multifamily conversion in this market in our area. So this home here is 3,000 square feet with the 430 square foot garage. The unit mix that you would achieve on this building is 2 3-bedroom units, one on each floor. So one on the top floor, one on the main floor, and then a 2-bedroom unit in the basement because it's a little bit smaller. And then we would actually convert the 2-bay garage into a 1-bedroom apartment. Minimum size for a 1-bedroom apartment is 425 square feet. So we would actually have a great unit mix of 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and 1 bedrooms in this investment property. Home is about 30 years old, so it's got good bones and good shape. Not going to be a lot of surprises. Our rental budget is about 415,000 for that, $50,000 servicing fee. So when you're doing these types of conversions, the servicing fee is for your water and your sewer upgrade, which you have to account for due to the amount of plumbing fixtures in your home. Then we also have a development charge for the 4th unit. So to add the 4th unit, you have to pay the city of Barrie an $85,000 development charge to get those 4th units in the property. We have some very interesting ways to help work around or work with these development fees. They have a development charge deferral program now in the city of Barrie, which is helping with this. And also, one of the great things about hitting a 4th unit on a property is you can get all of the HST back, which is huge. So there's no HST on your $85,000 development charge. It's not HST applicable. But if you have, $450,000 to $500,000 in renovation costs, you can be getting all of the HST back once you hit that 4-unit marker. And we actually have projects where we have got this money back now. So my own personal portfolio, we have a couple of these conversions, and we have gotten 100% of our HST back once you hit 4 units. And it feels good. You can actually do it quarterly and help fund your own build with the HST coming back to you, which has been quite helpful. It's tax-free tax that you're getting back pretty much. So definitely helps on that. And we have some great strategies to help minimize capital outlay. So if you're looking to get in one of these conversions, we're doing them all over the place. We've got a half a dozen of them on the go right now. Your after repair values are anywhere between 1.5 and 1.6 million. So you still have some forced appreciation. All these units are going to have independent heating and cooling systems, independent water meters, gas meters, hydro meters, and then you're also bringing in about $9,000 per month plus all the utilities. So a great return on some of these 4-unit conversions.
Yeah, that's pretty good cash flow, actually, right? That's like at least 1,000 in cash flow.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
At the end of the day. So that's really good. Such a better
Yeah,
use of the space too, because like a 3,000 square foot house, like it's not as an investment just in and of itself, not great. But once it's a fourplex, like that valuation, you just see it get so much better with the income.
and these bigger 2 stories, we have a huge amount of this type of model in the Barrie area. Barrie really boomed back, 25, 30 years ago, and there is quite a few of these homes that they haven't really been touched in 30 years.
Yeah.
So you kind of have your builder standard 30-year-old finishes in there that are very tired. People see a lot of work to make it their own as an end user. And a lot of these people, refinanced over COVID. They're getting in distress and they need quick sales. And we're scooping these up for 700,000, some of them, which is wild.
Yeah.
These houses were well over $1 million back 18 months ago. And, we're adding extreme value and getting appraisals at 1.5, 1.6 today, not let alone when you guys are done. If you take on one of these projects in 8 to 10, 12 months, depending on what kind of strategy you're looking at, I think it'll be a whole different ball game. That 1.5 can be creeping up to 1.8, 1.9 pretty quickly. So
Yeah. No, it makes sense. That's a good that's a good point to bring up too, that when a consumer is looking at this type of house, they're looking at a 3,000 square foot house that, like to your point, hasn't been touched in 30 years. So as a consumer, I'm looking at this and it's 700 grand. Now I got to do kitchens, bathroom, flooring, landscaping, lighting, paint. I'm at 100 grand at least just as a consumer to make this like, to bring this to life. And for a lot of people, that's just not attractive.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's
for
a great
sure.
point.
And for us, we're going in and to make it work for us, we're gutting it right to the studs to get all the plumbing, electrical, fire rating, and everything that we need to do to make this Ontario Building Code compliant. We're going right to the studs. So everything you see is absolutely irrelevant to us. It's all going in a bin in the front yard, and we're starting from the studs. That's the only way to do it, and that's the best way to make it happen.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
just wanted to touch base on capital requirements. Something like this is, you see these big daunting numbers of 85,000 plus 50,000 plus 415,000. We have financing options for you where you could get into this project and complete it from acquisition to construction financing for roughly $250,000. So if you have $250,000 to $300,000 kicking around between cash and a line of credit, we can get you into one of these deals. We can get you into our financing team. We can finance the rest of this, and we can get you most of that capital back by the time we're done and you refinance out of it. You'll probably have closer to 100 grand left in this deal with a building worth 1.5, 1.6 million, cash flowing probably $1,200 a month with an income of $9,000 per month.
Yeah.
So these are great. A lot of the properties you're seeing on there that are multifamily homes right now, they're priced and they're sitting because the rents are garbage. So these are going to be brand new units. You're putting in top quality rents and you're picking your own tenants, not assuming somebody else's problem. And that's why we love this format and these types of deals.
Yeah. And again, it's not like this is a very traditional real estate transaction, right? You're buying a home likely from a family
Mhm.
that's selling, right? So you're not dealing with existing tenants that you're trying to turn over. You're
Mhm.
coming in here with, essentially a vacant, empty house and a blank slate, which I like the idea of doing it that way. It's a great way to do kind of infill.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if we're doing the work for you, we know it's done right. You're not
Yeah.
going to have problems. This is an asset that you can keep for 10, 15 years and not have to touch it. It'll be turnkey. We have property managers to take care of the tenants for you. Just plug into our system and we can take care of you.
Yeah. And again, like your biggest thing here is like a roof, right? And it's one roof. You get 4 units and it's like that's 5 grand every 10, 15 years. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, for sure.
that's great.
So another live deal that we have here are these large scale bungalows. So we have a couple areas where rental units have never been existing because the price points were so high. These houses were starting at 1.2, 1.3. We're now seeing them list around 800,000. These are massive 18, 1900 square foot bungalows in Barrie, in the best neighborhoods in Barrie, where your competition for rental suites is none because they haven't been able to make sense since the dawn of ever been being going through these conversions. So now we can have 3, 4 units in these nice, big, beautiful homes that are sitting vacant because nobody wants to take them on right now. So 1,800 square foot per floor plus a 450 square foot garage. This will get you 4 3-bedroom apartments. So you're going to have a renovation budget of 465,000, a servicing number of about 50,000, and then your DC of 85,000 on top of that. Your ARVs on these are about 1.65 million with 4 3-bedroom apartments.
Wow.
Each one of these units is pretty well like a small townhouse. If you look at a 2-bedroom townhouse, the top 2 floors are usually about 900 square feet. That's how much square footage you're going to have in these 3-bedroom apartments. And these are in the best areas in Barrie. Total rents, you're going to be about $10,000 per month, $2,500 per unit, plus utilities, lots of parking. This one in particular is on a corner lot. So you can have parking in the driveway and on the side. So almost 8 parking spots plus the garage if you don't convert it. Or you can put storage lockers in the garage and even make you more money. So again, if this is something that interests you guys, we can get you into a deal like this for around 250,000. Our financing team can help take on the rest, and we can definitely do everything from acquisition, design, build, the whole conversion process, hook you into our property management team, and create a turnkey investment that you won't have to touch for the next 10 to 15 years because it'll be brand new, great tenants qualified, set it and forget it, and then just collect the cash after that. So just want to touch about the construction financing, how it works, and how we're leveraging even further. So we have your acquisition that you're going to have to, put your 20% down to acquire the property. In addition to that, what will happen is we'll get a future value appraisal. So those 1.5 and $1.6 million evaluations that we are telling you that it's going to be worth when it's done, we actually get an appraisal prior to getting your construction financing. So you will know based on today's rate what it'll be worth when you're done. And you're also going to be leveraging the future value and our reputation to be able to unlock this unopened equity that we're going to be creating for you. And then the bank will lend on the amount of completion and the permit status of how fast we complete things. So you'll be having a continuous flow of money to help the construction financing, and it's a great way to basically even leverage even more from the acquisition to the construction financing. There's quite a few strategies that we can do to increase your return on investment due to the additional leverage.
That's awesome.
So I just want to touch on what's going on again from a mortgage standpoint. Why are the buyers going to start flooding in the spring? We've been talking about this for quite some time. Just want to touch it again for people that are following us. So in the last couple months here, we've had the CMHC mortgages amortization change from 25 to 30 years. This has basically increased the amount that a buyer can afford from a first-time home buyer perspective. So this is going to be starting to buy up a lot more inventory because more people are getting qualified. They have also increased the amount of a mortgage from $1 million to $2 million. So it's going to increase a lot of people being able to buy those million-plus homes, which will also help turnover and affordability in those million-plus price points, which a lot of families, I'm sure, are looking to upgrade because they haven't been able to do that with the increasing interest rates. The removal of the stress test. That was a huge thing too that came out on December 15th, I believe. So that was a huge help for people. It's basically you qualify at today's rates. There's no additional points that you have to qualify for. And again, the further reduction in interest rates, I think we'll see another one here next week at the end of January, probably a quarter point, maybe even a half a percent, which would just help get things going. And then once the snow goes away and, we have some nicer weather where people actually want to be out looking at houses, because it's, again, 4 feet of snow, -20. No one really wants to be out there doing that right now.
Yeah.
So once we see that mortgage rate drop end of this month, should be helping everything for a strong spring market. And the other thing is these tariffs. If Trump brings in these tariffs, there's a lot of economists that are saying that interest rates will come back to almost COVID pricing to help stimulate the economy because it's going to really hurt the manufacturing and a lot of businesses that are out there that deal with the states. So could you imagine if we went down to 2.5% interest rates with all of these new mortgage rules coming into effect all at the same time? What is it going to do to the price of real estate? It's going to put it through the roof. So even if we don't get tariffs, we're priming for a strong spring market. If these tariffs come on, which Trump said on February 1st, we're getting those tariffs. It's rumored that economists are saying that a lot of people think that the interest rates will go down substantially quicker, and we could see almost 2.5% interest rates if these tariffs do come into effect, which would be pretty wild with all of these new rules opening up affordability for Canadians.
Yeah, that would be super wild. That would be, I could see a lot of volume transacting if that happens.
Oh, big time, big time. So again, our construction company is MCIS, which is Marshall's Complete Investment Solutions. We provide end-to-end project management. We have the real estate team that will do your acquisition. We can do everything from second suite conversions, triplex, multifamily conversions, lot severances, infill developments. We do a lot of land assemblies, land development, garden suites, anything to do with investing in real estate. If you want to do it in Simcoe County, give us a call. We're probably doing it. I've already done it half a dozen times. And just plug into our system, plug into our people. You have some questions, you want to do some of it yourself, you want to learn, give us a call. We're here to help you out. And that window is closing pretty quick for these hot deals before the market gets going. So give us a call as fast as you can.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Colby, for coming on the channel. I really appreciate your insight as well into the CMHC and everything there. I love the take on the single family conversions into multi-units. I think that's a great way to take a broader search term for the market, because I wasn't really thinking about that before. And it's great that you guys also have financing solutions to get that capital requirement down, because I think that's what maybe deters people from that type of project. But I don't think there's enough information out there about how to get that capital requirement reduced so that you could do something like a $500,000 improvement with only needing half that cash, right? I think that's a really important distinction to that strategy, that you can actually finance that, right? And you can get into this without needing to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in extra cash in order to get that conversion done. So I appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing that with us today.
Yeah, no problem at all. It's always a pleasure to be on the channel for sure.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you back here next month, Colby, and I
Absolutely.
hope you can stay warm. Cheers.
Yeah, for sure.
Enjoy the polar vortex.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Have a good one.
Thanks, Colby.